Now that Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame have concluded the saga of the Infinity Stones, it's time to start theorizing what will happen in Phase 4. After all, the only thing more fun than actually watching a Marvel movie is hotly debating the Marvel Cinematic Universe fan theories with like-minded nerds online, which we unashamedly do time after time. Serving as a sort of epilogue to the 22 films that preceded it, Spider-Man: Far From Home officially concluded Phase 3 of the MCU, which was kicked off by Captain America's Civil War. According to the mastermind behind Marvel Films, Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, Phase 4 will be the start of something new entirely. The internet is littered with speculation about how the next phase of Marvel films will fit into the universe's admittedly wonky timeline. So let's dig through some of the better Marvel Phase 4 theories below, and see if we can outsmart Feige and his minions. To hear the 5 MCU Phase 4 theories that we want to come true. At number 5, the next big event will be a Skrull invasion. Most fans understood the alien Skrulls would make an appearance in 2019's Captain Marvel. Rather than the villains of the story, as they're often shown to be in the comics, the Skrulls ended up being the secret heart of the film. But is Marvel setting up for a major fake-out? In the comics, there's an entire arc referred to as the Secret Invasion, whereby shape-shifting Skrulls, who can morph to appear like anybody, invade Earth and masquerade as several of the planet's greatest heroes and villains. Now that Thanos has been dealt with, the MCU will need a new overarching event to propel the movies forward, and an invasion by a bunch of body-snatching aliens sounds like a perfect next step for the franchise. Is that where Marvel intends to go next, or is it just fun, like Feige has said? Do you think this will happen? Leave your opinion in the comments section below. At number 4, Captain Marvel takes over the Avengers. By the time the dust settled in Avengers Endgame, the Earth had lost some pretty major heroes, including Iron Man, Black Widow, and Steve Rogers, or Captain America. Phase 4 will undoubtedly be fronted by some fresh blood, including never-before-seen heroes and new incarnations of old ones. In the meantime, who's going to lead the new Avengers? Some believe that responsibility will fall on powerful shoulders of Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers. Danvers is widely considered one of the most powerful superheroes in the entire Marvel canon. And in the MCU, she seems to be at least as strong as Thor and the Hulk. Who better to take the reins of Earth's mightiest heroes? Considering Marvel and superhero movies in general are becoming more diverse, it actually makes a lot of sense to put a woman in charge of the world's most powerful and lucrative team of superheroes. At number 3, Nick Fury finally catches up with Red Skull. There was a time not too long ago when Nick Fury felt like the most important character in the entire MCU. Now obviously he can't fly or shoot laser beams, or even have very good depth perception, but he's the reason the Avengers exist, and the reason those heroes are working together to keep Earth safe. But then there was that little thing where S.H.I.E.L.D. turned out to be a front for Hydra, and Fury's been sort of absent for most of the film since then. According to Mr. Fury himself, he's hunting down Red Skull, who's still very much alive. During a March 2017 interview, Samuel L. Jackson let slip that while you didn't see Fury in Civil War, I'm still out there trying to figure out what the Skull's going to do. He gets cut off before he can reveal anything else, but Jackson's comments would help explain why Fury's been off the radar for so long. Fury catching up with the first Avengers villain could make for an exciting part of Phase 4. The last time MCU fans saw the Red Skull, he was chilling on the planet Vormir halfway across the galaxy. More to the point, he seems to basically be trapped there for eternity. It's possible Fury still wants to catch up with the villain, but if the post-credits scene of Spider-Man: Far From Home is any indication, the super spy has much bigger fish to fry. At number 2, Marvel releases a Ravagers spin-off film with Sylvester Stallone. One of the most surprising parts of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was the cameo appearances from Sylvester Stallone, Michelle Yeoh, Michael Rosenbaum, and Ving Rhames as the original Guardians of the Galaxy, or Ravagers. While they were only in the film briefly, the mere appearance of so many A-list actors set the internet ablaze with speculation. Director James Gunn has also fueled those rumors. Gunn really wants to make a Ravagers film starring those actors, and while the project hasn't been officially announced, it's hard to imagine why it wouldn't happen. And at number 1, the X-Men battle the Avengers. One of the most exciting possibilities stemming from the Disney-Fox deal is the inclusion of X-Men characters and storylines into the MCU. After all, how cool would it be for Iron Man to team up with Wolverine? But some have speculated that the Avengers might actually end up fighting the X-Men. The MCU hasn't dug too deeply into mutants like the X-Men, but we do know the world is pretty generally opposed to superheroes. The Sokovia Accords were meant to limit their reach and the potential damage they could cause. Some have theorized that Thanos' snap may ultimately be responsible for creating mutants in the MCU. Historically, mutants have stirred fear and suspicion in the Marvel Comics world. Well guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to subscribe to TV Point and smash that like button and comment down below. See you next time.